promotional run of Civil War, I had only seen 2 trailers. The first one of journalists trying to do their job but getting stopped by people with weapons and asking, you know, where's your identification, and what are you doing? And I was like, oh my god, this is really shocking. And then the second trailer I saw was photograph stills. With each click of a camera there was a new photograph still showing destruction and cars abandoned and soldiers, and it really got me interested in wanting to see what Civil War is about. My takeaway from both those trailers is that Alex Garland wanted to create a topic of discussion on the current political climate, because we all know what's happening with Russia and Iran and Ukraine, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. So my theory was that he was doing this, but the more that I learned about Civil War and followed the marketing for it, is that it's not factual, but it is seeing how far a journalist would go for their story. Now, if anybody does follow the media, you will know how very well the journalist will sugarcoat their facts. I recently learned that a friend of mine got accused of being a drunken driver, causing a tragic accident, when in reality they were actually the first aid respondents, random people who wanted to help, you know, save these people, rather than being told that they were something they weren't. So they had to issue an apology to my friend and her partner. But let's talk about Civil War. This might sound really weird to say about a film like Civil War, but it's actually really breathtakingly beautiful to watch. Visually, it reads as if you were watching a real estate video, how they're trying to show off the beautiful and the pretty and showing the landscape and talking about the beautiful worlds that the house could be for you, and just seeing the beauty. So it feels like a real estate production film. But in reality, it's showing the horrificness, the possibility of what if the government screwed around its own country. Now, as an Australian, as an outsider who's looking in, as someone who knows very little about America besides the fact that she's watched it on TV, knows there's 50 states and know you guys are pro-gun. Watching Civil War didn't feel like I was an audience member sitting in on a movie. It felt like I was participating. It felt like I was in the belly of the beast. It felt like that at every moment that I was the one under attack, it felt like that no matter which turn I took, no matter which way I moved, I could potentially be in the firing line. That's what Civil War felt like to me. The movie follows a small team of journalists who originally want to go and talk to the president and get his idea on why he created a mass uproar and forced the 50 states of America to battle against each other. But what they get is much more than that. What they get is a story of grotesque nature, how far society would go in moments like these. Some members of community pretending as if there is nothing happening, just acting as if it's everyday normal life, acting as if in their little zone that they are safe, they are fine, but they are still on guard. But then other communities will be like, nah, you enter in here, you die. You come past this red line, you die. Doesn't matter what color you are, you die. You don't say that you're from the correct place, you die. You're oppressed, you die. You're military, you die. You're a regular person, you die. So watching it was extreme. But it was very clever in the way that Civil War plays out. It's the fact that like I said, it feels like a real estate video that you're watching at times. But the way that it plays out is, it shows you the horrific, but then tries to make it lighthearted, while also capturing the moments. A lot of freeze frames are done as if they're photography stills. And as someone who knows she would never be able to mentally cope in an environment like this, watching the photographs come up on screen, I was like, I want to do this. I want to go in environments like this and capture the uncatchable. But I know mentally I would not cope. Mentally I would freeze. Mentally I would freak the hell out. But it showed you the beauty. It showed you, like I said, it showed you the way that people would react in situations like this. I will admit that Civil War is not a film for everybody. I mean, given its tone, and given that it's speaking on a political climate, not the political climate, it's speaking on the what if your government failed you, but continued to do what they wanted to do and tricked the audience. My idea of Civil War was that it was supposed to be about the media trying to get their story and trying to twist the tale. But in reality, I got a movie that was not afraid to capture the ugly while showing the beauty. Not afraid to be like, this is how far they would go, but it would come with a cost. Not just for themselves, but anybody who's going to be in that little bubble at that moment. It showed you how the scenic moments could be perfect and innocent and sweet until it's not so sweet. It showed you moments where you're like, this is where my stomach drops, to all of a sudden like, why is this happening? Like, it's not making you look 20 different directions, it's making you look forward. And the sound design is one thing that makes you jump. Now in Australia, we are very strict on our gun rules. It's been that way since the 90s. But hearing the bullet shots, hearing the grenades, hearing soldiers yell their commands, it put you in the belly of the beast. It made your audiences aware of what was happening. It made your audiences jump, scared, possibly cry. I know every time the sound design played, I would jump in my seat. Every time the sound design would play, I would legit feel like I was in that scene and not in the comfort of a cinema chair. So Civil War did what it needed to do. It invoked an emotion that many people won't know. It invoked a possibility that we all joke about, because we all believe that one day we would be better without the government. One day we would be better without the FBI, without the cops, without this, without that. But it gives you this possibility of what if that was no longer a joke, and what if it was now serious. Civil War is incredibly beautiful, incredibly powerful, a must watch, but it may not be for everybody.